Hi there. I am the CRM Ninja, and on today's episode of the Oops Factor, starting off 2022, I am delighted to have Azure McFarlane. Welcome to the show, Azure.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thanks for being so patient trying to coordinate schedules around the holidays. Appreciate it.
It's fine, and congratulations to you on your recent MVP award, the baby.
Thank you. The baby, yes, baby is over here sleeping. I'll might
I,
bring him
I
out
have to
later.
say, I loved the way that you did that sort of photo shoot with it. I was like, oh, she's got a baby. Congratulations. And then I looked closer and I realized that's an MVP award, not a real, breathing baby.
I bought my first place last year, and I did the same thing with the house, right? Like, I put the key ring on my finger and was like, I said yes to the address, and so that's just me being dumb on the internet.
Amazing. Amazing. So I wanted to ask you something which my wife actually has a passion for by watching, but not taking part in it because it doesn't happen in the
Okay.
UK. But I understand you are into couponing.
I am, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
How did you get into it?
Ooh, okay. So I work with a nonprofit, a local nonprofit in the area.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of projects that go on centering around, feeding and supplying our, houseless neighbors with supplies. Um, Working with local like resettlement agencies for domestic violence survivors, refugees being resettled here. And so many of our projects that have centered around like being in person since the pandemic have kind of taken a different shape. And so my thought was my contribution is going to be like, well, people are coming, they're going to need supplies. So
Yep.
why not do it and do it in a fun manner for me? So there is a local pharmacy here called CVS, and they have like in their app, they've got a bunch of coupons. And of course, like the more things you buy, the more coupons you get for stuff. And it's like wheeling and dealing for me. It's a puzzle. It's fun. It's when I get to the register last week, I bought it was 9 toothbrushes, and out of pocket I paid 95 cents. And it just brings me great joy to be like, oh, well, I mean, I'm going to keep like 2 toothbrushes just in case like I have somebody, visit. But other than that,
Yeah.
like I get to give it away. But it's fun for me to get to deal hunt and see how much I can get for very little.
There are, of course, several American TV shows about it. And I say, when we go away on holiday in the summer and where we go, it's normally there on the TV channels. And my wife is absolutely glued to it. She loves the concept. In fact, one of the reasons why she would want to move to America is to be able to do it. The massive stockpiles and rooms and garages full of stuff for next to nothing.
Now, I have to say, I have not gotten to that point. Like my dining room table is a little full right now, so I need to take a haul away. Those people impress me. I've not gotten to the point where I get everything for like free 99, but it's very close to it that we're paying, like a few dollars out of pocket. And I'm like, one day we'll get there, not to hoard, but just to be like, I'm gonna amass it, and then we're just gonna give it to the people.
That's true, and I know of several cases that have been reported in the news over the last year or two about people who have done that. Couponers who have specifically gone to donate to charity, which obviously is very, very kind of very nice. I know a lot of effort that can go into these things.
Yeah, I'm like I can only use so much mouthwash, right? Like there's a limit to what I could do and what I can store here in my place.
So, what is your best haul to date in terms of the overall dollar value if you had paid full retail, and then what it ended up at?
Okay. So actually I think it might have been last week. So I'll do a couple. I'll go down to not every pharmacy has exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll explain this, the way that CVS works is not only do you get coupons in the app, but they do these combos where it's like buy 2 of these items and get back, pharmacy cash. So
Yep.
CVS bucks, and you get that money, and then you can, repurchase things with it. So you're not paying anything at all. So last week I think was the best because I send the photos to my family too and be like, look what I got this week. So last week it was retail for 200 and like $30, and out of
Okay.
pocket I paid about 21. Um,
Nice.
so it was actually pretty good. And it was a variety of things from like razors and toothpaste, toothbrushes, mouthwashes. Um, what else did I get? I got like Colgate, like whitening tooth pens. I don't use
Ah,
this stuff. So, but it was for the amount, like for the amount of CVS cash I got back, it was, I think it was like $60. So I'll just roll that into the deals when I start shopping on Sunday again. And yeah,
sounds good.
that's how it goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
So
not bad.
going from couponing to the oops factor, what do you have to share with us?
I'm going to tell you about the first time and only time I killed my first car.
Hold on, hold on.
Yeah,
Did you say you killed your car?
by axe, I did. And I
Okay.
have a deep attachment to family cars. And so, as my first one, he's living another life. Like he's okay. I think he's fine. But I killed him to the point where we could not repair them.
Okay. Tell us how you killed it and what you learned for your next car. Dare I say?
Okay, so think of this as being not having the wisdom of the ages, but my first car was an early like Ford Escort, early 90s model Escort. I'm not going to give the year because I don't want people to steal my banking answers, right? To the security questions. I joke. But this was my dad's first brand new car when he moved to the States, and it was handed to me. And we called it affectionately the Silver Bullet. And it was silver and it had the darkest window tint on it because we come from Florida and there it's just the sun's really hot. So to protect yourself, you tint your windows. And this car was my baby. It had a tape deck. I had like the Walkman. Do you remember like the tapes with the
Yeah.
aux cords on them? Yep.
Yeah.
So I had that whole setup, and it was to transport myself and my friend to like sports and like orchestra. And
Nice.
we were pretty cool 16-year-olds. I'm not gonna lie, carrying a cello and a violin in the back. So so this car had an oil leak, and so my dad would keep like a quart of oil in the trunk, and he taught me a bit of car maintenance, just basic car maintenance. And one of the things was, okay, you're going to check the oil and you're going to fill up the oil to the dipstick, like pour some in, check, pour some in, check until it's at the line. And so I'd probably have to do this once every like 10 days or something like that. But one day
Okay.
my dad decided to buy like a big jug of oil to keep in the trunk. And I was like, well, why didn't we just pour the whole thing in to begin with? And so I poured a lot of oil in there until the line was over the dipstick, and not thinking anything of it. It kept drinking the oil, so I kept pouring it in. And then as I was driving to school one day, I'm at a stoplight and I take off from the stoplight, and there's this big plume of smoke behind me. And that was the end of the car. So my dad had to
Did
come
it
get
burst
me.
into flames?
Luckily, it did not. So
Phew,
I got
good.
lucky in that respect. Yeah, there was just plumes of smoke. And so we had to have the car towed home. And I think my parents donated it to like the local kidney foundation. So they've got like like a little auto center where students can learn how to do auto maintenance. And so my parents still see the car like driving around their city too, with all the bumper stickers and whatnot. So wasn't a complete
So it's
loss.
in its second life, in its second era, not absolutely gone.
Not I killed it to the point where we couldn't fix it, but somebody else that we didn't even know if it was going to be restored or not. But my dad's like, I'm pretty sure I saw the silver bullet the other day on the highway. And so, yeah, so I killed it. I had to get another car, cost the family a little bit of money or inconveniences. Yeah. Sorry, mom and dad.
So I'm assuming from that point forward, you were religiously topping up the oil as necessary within the limits.
Yes. And my dad did admit that this was partially his fault because he never told me not to pour that much in there. So my thought process was like, why are we just buying a quart at a time? We could just fill it up and save some time. So yes. So I no
True.
longer do that. Second car died, but that was not my fault. She was 21 years old. So yeah, we're doing okay now. We let other people take care
Third
of
car
maintenance.
running.
Third car, great. I bought it. It's relatively new, so it's about 2 years old. So I don't have to do a thing to it, and that's okay. I won't kill this one. I'll try not to.
Well, you know, if you were getting an electric car at some point, it doesn't actually use oil.
I know. So that is my hope. Unfortunately, where I live right now, there aren't a ton of places that you can charge your car. And so since I live
Ah,
in a townhome, I don't even have like an outlet or anything on the outside of my house.
got it.
So yeah, in the future, once the infrastructure is just slightly better, I will be looking into greener alternatives.
Sounds good. Here they've started to run it in certain areas, and they're replacing lampposts with the ability with charge points, so you can just plug it into a lamppost.
We have not gotten that far, and we need to do that. But yeah, the closest charger, like there's some at work, but then they turned them off because they didn't have people were coming from outside of like my company to come charge their cars, and so they just decided we're gonna turn the chargers off totally, and so nobody can charge their cars, and so you have to go like a mile or two up the street, but you also have to pay for your charging, and you can only
Ah,
leave it there for like 2 hours at a time. So
got it.
not quite at the point where
Not
it's
ideal.
it's
Not ideal.
ideal or
Um,
accessible for people.
we have a Tesla dealership about a quarter of a mile away, in the local shopping center, and they have superchargers there. And you can't drive into the shopping center out of hours unless you are a Tesla owner,
Okay.
because the point is open 24 hours a day, and security know if you're a Tesla owner, then they allow you to drive in and you can park up and charge. So I know some people who have done that at 3 o'clock in the morning and just got to sleep for a couple of hours in the car, let it charge, or because it's nearby, they've left the car there, they've walked
Then they
out.
walk back. Yeah, and then they come back. A friend of mine, her company, same thing. She lives roughly like a mile from her company and it's gated off. So she can just go, she takes her bike with her and
Nice.
then drops off the car and then she'll bike back home. So soon, hopefully soon, my company
So,
will get on that too.
so if you could get an electric car, let's say you could get one tomorrow, right? You know,
Mhm.
um, which one would it be and why?
Ooh, thinking of American, like what's available here, I know of Tesla and I know of Chevy Bolt. Hmm. I think the Teslas are really sexy. So I might go with a Tesla. Yeah.
Which Tesla?
Whichever one I can afford, right? Or are we saying money's not an
No, no,
object
no, no.
here?
If money was no object at all,
Oh.
right? Assuming money is no object, which one would you go for?
I like the little SUV looking one. I don't know which model this is.
The
So
Model
it's got the
Y.
moonroof, the Model Y. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm speaking it
The
into existence.
X, the X was the big one, and the Y is
Okay.
like a smaller, is the smaller brother or sister or relative of it. So it's a bit more. It's the
Okay.
compact SUV.
Yes. So it's got 2 rows of seats, right?
Yep.
I think that's the one. My old boss, that's the one that she has. What I really liked the feature when I was riding with her, we were taking her kids to the zoo one day. The feature that I liked was she's like, "Oh, can you give the kids some snacks?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, where are the snacks?" She's like, "Oh, hold on," and she presses a button on the screen, and all it did was open the glove compartment, and there were Cheez-Its there. And I was like, I want to be this fancy someday, where I just press a button on a screen and next, it's going to be like at the like American banks. I don't know if y'all have them over there, but it's the chutes. Like you stick your check or whatever in the drive through it, and there's like a chute that sucks it up. I'm like, Tesla will have that next, so you won't even have to open the glove compartment. It'll just be like shove them in there and then like shoot them back to the kids.
That would be fun. Although you need to be careful not to shoot them too hard at the kids, because then it could be a problem.
We'll put them in like it'll put it like right in the cup holder, right? We won't pelt the kids with snacks.
Kids are very resilient, and and most of the, I mean, my kids and most other kids that I know, I don't think they would be too resistant to being, pelted gently by snacks. I think they would think it's a dream come true.
You're not wrong, right? There are a whole bunch of like kids' TV shows or like Nickelodeon shows that are centered around being slimed. They can be snacked.
Yeah, yeah. If I would drop, a fruit or a vegetable on one of mine, they would complain. But if I would throw a packet of crisps at them, they would probably tell me throw another one.
See, I think we should patent this idea. I don't know if we can patent this as an idea, but I think we need to get like a team together and make this happen because I see this as a big moneymaker. Nobody else steal this now, okay? Internet, leave us alone.
It's okay. By the time this airs, you know, we're doing the patent. That's it. What would you call it?
Is snack attack like too general?
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll work on the name.
We need to do some brainstorming.
Do you have any ideas? Yeah, anything off the cuff?
I was thinking if it was healthy, you know, like fruit leather or fruit snacks, it could be shoot the fruit. Or maybe not. Now thinking about that, that was just literally off the cuff. But I'm sure we come up with something.
If there's an actual shoot, like that works perfectly. I can also see people thinking like, oh, Nerf guns, right? Like with the softballs.
Love those.
Shoot, either way, shoot the fruit still works. I'm writing it down.
I have a Nerf gun. I have, I think, the ex commander of. I'm looking at it. You can't see it, but it's up there. I'm looking at it with a load of ammo. Got it years back when I was single, of course. Not that I wouldn't get it when being married. It was just easier to get it when being single. And we had some friends with it, and we decided that because we have Tesco, which is like Walmart, right, 24 hours a day, and at 2:00 in the morning, we decided to go into Tesco and have a Nerf battle. We just walked in with the Nerf guns. Security were not too amused, but there were very few people around. They did ask us to leave rather quickly.
That sounds awesome. I don't know if we'd be able to get away with something like that here.
You could try.
I was going to say I can try and report back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the homework. That's the homework.
That's my homework. Okay. Brainstorming names, get a marketing team, and Nerf gun wars inside of a Walmart. Got it.
Definitely. Do you have a Nerf gun?
Ooh, I don't think I own one currently. I know
I like
in
the
college,
way you say currently.
Yeah, current. It leaves room open for the future. But I did own some in college. I was a resident advisor in college, so we were like the dorm mom or dad, and we would routinely turn some of the lounges into areas like like bunkers, and would have Nerf gun wars there.
I wish I had been attending college there because that sounds awesome.
It was great. I lived in this one building where it was, it housed about 1,000 students. And so there were 2 entrances to this one really big lounge. So you could really have a lot of fun with it. It was huge. There were like couches. We converted all the couches into just like flip them over and made like tents and put flags, and then would use the various lounges in the hallways and whatnot as our obstacle courses.
Awesome stuff.
Now I need to go get another Nerf gun.
Definitely, we need to. Well, Azure, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
It's been great to have you on. Viewers, we hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Feel free to check out the rest of the Oops Factor episodes. Subscribe to the channel, take a look at the blog. If you would like to come on, hit the link that's somewhere in the description below, put in your details, which will drop me a line automatically, and then I would love to have you on the show. But above all, have a great day and an amazing year.